I am Professor Amala De Silva, a health economist from the Department of Economics, University of Colombo. In health economics, we like to think about health expenditure in two ways, as both consumption and investment. If we can improve somebody's health status, that would be considered as investment, maybe in the current period, or to ensure that they maintain their health status unchanged into the future. When we think about healthcare, there are four types of healthcare. There's promotive, preventive, curative, and rehabilitative care. When we think about mental health, the curative care is mainly in the form of consultations, drugs, treatment which involve medical professionals. But there is also a major role played in the context of preventive healthcare and in rehabilitative healthcare by counseling. So, any health expenditure that we use for these purposes actually can contribute very majorly to health investment, because we are improving the health status of an individual or trying to safeguard the health status of an individual. Why is it important to do this? Because we are interested in what we call human capital. In economics, there are four factors of production: land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. But currently, the interest is actually on labor, because the World Bank and other institutions are encouraging countries to think about human capital as the engine of growth. Labor, when it is combined with a healthy population and with education and training, can provide very strong human capital inputs for economic development. People with mental health are very able, they are very creative, but due to the illness, we often lose out on their productivity, we lose out on their ideas and on the contribution they can make. They lose out on the chance of education, and then their contribution to the economy gets stifled. We have a problem here. If we can spend wisely and look after the mental health of our population, we will be contributing to the development of human capital. And this human capital can actually play a major role in providing economic development for the country. So, when we want to build up this human capital by treating and by preventing mental health issues, we have to take into consideration that in Sri Lanka, a lot of the health expenditure is borne by the state. The state will need to provide better mental health facilities than they are doing at present, because we have very limited mental health facilities in the country at present. But it's not limited to the state. We also have to respond to this as society, because very often there is stigma related to mental health issues that prevent people from seeking care. If we can ensure that society responds positively and encourages people to seek care, to seek counseling, to seek treatment, then there will be a situation where people's potential is not affected adversely by their mental health condition. It is very important, therefore, that the state and society contribute to this process. Likewise, employers need to understand that people with mental health are very capable, have high productivity, and are often very creative. Employers need to understand this and to make use of this sort of these persons in their organizations, because they can contribute very strongly towards the organizational development and towards the productivity and profitability of organizations. We need to take an overall approach to the issue. We need to think about the fact that investment is very important. We need to make this investment now, partly through what we spend on health education and what we spend on treatment and provision of care for patients. These problems of mental health affect not only the productivity and the income earning potential of the individuals, but often have an impact on households as well. So, therefore, if we are concerned in human capital and concerned in the development of our country, we need to take a wide approach to ensure that everybody gets the proper care they need through proper investment in the mental health services, because this will pay off very much in the future, as both households and society can develop faster with proper mental health services in place.
Iborn, I'm Dilani. I'm from Sri Lanka. My age is 62 years now, but I'm a bipolar patient. But this is my, I think, 20 years I'm a patient. I have gone through a lot, but my childhood is a very beautiful time. I had a beautiful time that time. I married when I'm 17 years old. This is the sickness, the sad story about my life, my property problems and husband and my in-laws. That is why I got mental sickness. So I went through, because at that time there is no one for me to share my problems, because I just pray to God. I start to write my life story and I don't have anyone to discuss. Then at last I decide, my first daughter born when I'm 18 years, like that. Then 2 years I have 3 daughters. So after that I can't handle these problems. No one is there to help me. All are against me. I'm so innocent and I am inside the house always. And there is no one to help me. No one is there to listen to my problems. So that's why I decide at last I leave everything and I just went to earn money and I want to get the divorce and look after my children and way. That's why I decided to go from Sri Lanka. But from there I heard my children are suffering. That is the first time I got my sickness. Now I am very, very strong lady to go through any problems, because we don't need anyone. We can stand on our own feet because God gave me some skills, I'm a soft toys designer and curtain designer also. The third time when I was in the hospital, I came from the hospital. I turned back and saw the hospital logo, Angoda. I decided God gave me this talent. I will use this talent with these innocent ladies. Anyway, when I involve with hospital, occupational therapists, doctors and everyone, I'm little bit free to discuss anything with them. Then I turn back to the logo Angoda. Then I straight away went to the office and told, I have this talent. I want to use this talent with these innocent ladies. So from that, this is my 13th year. I'm working as a volunteer in mental hospital. So I start to teach them how to design soft toys and curtain. Also, sometimes I'm teaching them also, doing this handicraft work. Now I can see the changes, how they are happy and how they, because not only medicine, the creative activities and the spiritual therapy all include that we are happy and we are free. We don't want any support, but I thankful to the hospital, all doctors and staff, occupational therapy, nurses and minor staff, all they are very friendly and they are very giving good support for us. So that is the main thing we want. I want to give this message to public, that is, we are free and we can work somewhere else. No one can point finger that we are patients. We are normal people. So they are thinking that we are sick people, you are a patient. That time I can remember everyone, when I go to my place, they are telling, oh, you are crazy woman, you have to stay in mental hospital, you can't work, or you can be at home. So many people, they insult me. But I thought, oh my gosh, I have 3 daughters. How can my daughters tell that I'm a crazy woman? I take the medicine in time, I do my activities because I want to stand on my own feet. I'm strong, but I want to strengthen these ladies and to move with people, move with the other society, and to Sri Lankan talented ladies are lot of talented ladies inside and educated ladies are there. So, to see them living happily, that is the message I want to give. The main thing, we are doing products, we don't have any sales, we don't have market. So, some people really, they are using us. They are trying to use us and take our products, and they don't want to give the best price for us. They are trying to get money from that. So, I need people who are working hard to make money, and we need selling center, or this is very important thing for us to sell our products, not to depend on anybody, because so many difficulties we came through, and now we are standing on our own feet, and we are developing, our production is perfect and good, and the marketing thing. After they recover, they take medicine and they are normal people. But when they go to interview, they reject if they knows that he have gone through this sickness like that. But don't think like that. We are normal people. So there are so many educated and even doctors, lawyers are in the hospital, but please don't reject these people. So give them a chance and give jobs, and they are ready to work.
If I speak my mind, will you pay attention? If I speak my mind, will you set me free from this mental detention? If I speak my mind, will you judge me? Because I judge myself every day already. I even judge myself for not being able to stop judging myself. If I speak my mind, will you understand? Will you hold me by the hand and tell me that you've been there? Do you promise to be there? Do you promise to be here? Maybe I should speak my mind. Maybe we should all speak our minds. Because you might say that I imprison myself in my own mind, and maybe you're right. But I genuinely cannot get out. I need you. I need you to help me out. If you don't mind, if I speak my mind, will you listen? Thank you.
The world is talking about mental health, but talking is not enough. We need movement on mental health. Most people cannot access mental health support. Up to 90% are not able to receive the care they need, especially in low and middle income countries. In 10 years, depression will put more burden on our nations than any other disease. And the COVID-19 pandemic has made things even worse. This World Mental Health Day, the world will come together to move for mental health. Move for investment, for access to support, for rights. Move with me in the world's first virtual 24-hour global march for mental health. It's time for leaders to hear our call. It's time to move for mental health.
COVID-19 has changed the life of many people, not only in Sri Lanka, but around the world. The mental health impact the pandemic has created is immeasurable. To reduce the burden of the pre-existing mental health condition and the now COVID-19 mental health issues needs a lot of attention and a lot of time. Most countries, including Sri Lanka, concentrates on treatment for mental disabilities, but very little attention is given for prevention of mental disabilities and the promotion of good mental health. I think it's time for all of us to create more awareness of the importance of prevention and the importance of promoting good mental health. Let's all join hands, the youth, the private sector, the public sector, the financial sector, the business sector, everybody. Let's join hands to promote the awareness we need for good mental health. They say prevention is better than cure. So in terms of personal experiences, I've had 2 such incidents, but I'll talk of the one of the very recent, which is my post-pregnancy depression. So I didn't realize actually that I was depressed. I was just going through many different feelings. I was crying. I didn't know whether I was doing it right. It was my first time kid, and was I doing my job of the role of a mother? Was I doing my work right? Am I looking after my child properly? You know, if the child is not drinking enough. It was so much stress on me that I didn't realize I was actually going through a depression, because I would cry in one moment, I'll be happy one moment, I'll be angry in another moment, and all this I didn't realize was actually was depression, and that was just due to the condition I was in. It's not a sickness, it's not, there's nothing wrong with going through a mental process like that. But when I read about it, and then I realized, oh, this is what was happening to me. So I recognize this in so many of the youth, young mothers with just one, you know, their first kid, not, especially mothers who are working and not knowing how to handle the work pressure, the kid at home, then if you have to deal with relations who think you're not doing a good job of it. And you know, sometimes all of this can relate to your mental condition, and you have to understand there is a time when some of us go through depression, some of us, it's okay to go through that process. All you need is family support, where the family understands that one member can go through a depression for anything, for maybe just, you know, not only a post-pregnancy, it could be just exams and a kid going through depression because either, you know, if it didn't do well in school or something like that, that could also cause a depression. It just depends on the mindset of the person, and each of us are different. So our mindsets are different. So I think it's important to understand that any one of our family members can go through a depression. You need to recognize, you need to understand. If your mom is, it can even be your mother, you know, you need to understand that everybody is a human. When you're a human being, you can go through it. Doesn't have an age limit. It doesn't have any barrier because of the class you're in, or you know, the society you're in. It can happen to anybody, whether you're rich or poor, male or female. So all you need to do is be aware of what it is, understand and care. These are the few simple things you could do for your family member, and that could make such a big difference in that person's life. So I hope you take time to read about good mental health. I hope you take time to Google about it, at least if you're not into reading, watch some videos and help each other, because that's the only way forward.